Okay, so we got this thing going here. I know a lot of people, this is a little impromptu, so give people opportunities to, let's play the music. Let's get some. All right, so just to, so I can cover, tell people the reality of the situation. Already starting with the bullshit. Anyways, for those who don't know, I cover the Jaguars every Sunday. I'm on First Coast News. I got to go do my Jags obligation. So the Jaguars won. Now we can come back and we can give my quick no cap recap of the game. So if you're in here, if you're a greenie, you get the opportunity. You ask your questions about the FSU Florida game. We'll get into that. If you're not a greenie, or even if you are, would love to see you guys donate to a super chat. For those who don't know, I'm having a little. Let me see if I can find a way to put this up here. I'm having my fourth annual gifts for good grades, and so what I do is every year, the kids who participate in my book bag drive, we get an opportunity to be able to give them gifts up to valued up to $30. It's about a $9,000. I will run it up to $10,000 little program that we do. If any of you guys has a little extra money laying around and don't mind giving away, please look to donating to that. If you don't want to do it through a super chat, which they do take 30% of my super chat, feel free to go to jamescolemangivesback.com. You can see all of the information there. We also put up an Amazon wish list for the kids. We're going to do a really big push on Giving Tuesday. If we get to half of the goal raised on Giving Tuesday, I will be giving up a lot of stuff for people. So again, consider doing that. Also, some other things that you can see at the bottom of the screen. We're 703 subs away from 4,000, which means we're 1,703 subs away from 5,000. If we get to 5,000, I will give away a pair of tickets to the ACC Championship. It has to be by Wednesday. We may have a special show on Thursday doing a breakdown. I'll get some guys from Louisville or something like that to come through. But at the end of the day, we got to meet the numbers. Got to do all these different things. Also, once we get to 4,000, we give away $400 to somebody who's watching the Big Games BS. We also give the amount of likes away in cash. So if you need a quick come up, subscribe. Nobody else is offering you all these different deals and things to do. On top of, if you're a member, you get to participate in our college football pick'em, as well as our college football pick'em, as well as our what's that shit called? Oh, pigskin pick'em for the NFL. We're throwing the tailgate. Let me see. We're throwing a big tailgate, so there'll be another announcement for the tailgate tomorrow. We'll have a big thing going for that here. Looking forward to seeing everybody. We have VIP things are going to be sold up until I'm gonna make it to Monday afternoon. VIP tickets are $100. It's literally a building with air conditioned, 2 85-inch screen TVs that will be showing games all day. So if you don't have a ticket to the game, get a ticket to the VIP part of the tailgate. You can watch the game and be right around the corner. We're about 0.2 miles from the stadium. We'll also be selling 20 parking spots to 20 parking spots to the tailgate that's within walking distance. So we're trying to figure out all of the different things with the food and all that other jazz coming up here shortly when it comes to the tailgate. So last night as you can see right now, the Seminoles won 24-15. It wasn't the prettiest game in the world, but it was a win, and a win's a win. And we are basically in playoff scenarios right now at Florida State. Win and you're in. Fuck all the outside noise. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying. Don't worry about what ESPN is trying to dictate to us. If we win, we're in. We beat Louisville, who will still be probably a top 15 ranked team. We will more than likely be a representative of the ACC in the college football playoff. When you look at the situations that are still left, you have number one play. Well, I think they'll be number two on Tuesday, but currently number one plays they'll be number seven. They'll be number 7 more than likely, Alabama. The number 3 team in the nation, Washington, will play the number 6 team, or probably the number 5th team in the nation, in Oregon. And then we still do this. My bad. Kenneth Black, before I get into all this stuff, that was a great question. Where is the tailgate? It's a place, I think they call it the Mansion. It's where the official Carolina Panthers tailgate is, fan tailgate is. It's about 0.2 miles away from it. I'm going to post all of that shit on there. It'll be in the community section of here as well. Again, the regular tailgate price right now is $50, I believe. It bumped up. We'll probably keep that up until for a little bit, but the VIP tailgate will be $100. It's only 100 tickets that we can sell for that. Actually, 70 tickets we can sell for that. I forgot. 70 tickets that we can sell for that, and we've already sold 20 of them, if I believe correctly. So, just check that out. But again, at the end of the day, everything will work itself out. I don't know why people keep worrying about people hating on it. There's 100% chance if we lose, we won't be in the college football playoff. If you win, a 13-0 season, if we do get, let's say that hypothetically we do get left off, would you not have like the opportunity to have a 13 and 14-0 season because you didn't get to play in the playoff? I still want to have one of the best seasons that we've ever had in school history. So all the prizes, all the chips, all the things are in there. Finish. So I like that more than the 18 leave or whatever that is. Finish. F13 finish. However the hell else you spell that shit. So let's worry about the things that we can control and keep the main thing. Again, if you have questions, put them in the chat. We'll go over the entire breakdown of the game as it was shown. Again, I'm calling it the Battle of the Bastards. And if anybody who's watched Game of Thrones, you got to remember when there was the big fight between in there, and we all thought one side was going to lose. It looked like they were getting their ass whooped. It looked like it was about to it was going down. Then all of a sudden the reinforcements came in. That's basically what this game was like. You had the battle of 2 backup quarterbacks. One was at home, tons of momentum going their way. If you really read our fan base, which you shouldn't, a lot of you guys, again, high estrogen, low testosterone, panic at every given point, at any given moment. Like, if you're reading the Twitter tea leaves and you didn't watch the game, you would think Florida State was getting their asses whipped, like just straight up butt whipped. But when you take a step back and realize you have 2 guys now, one is a redshirt freshman, one is a redshirt junior, but his 5th year in the program, where neither one played well. But as I tell people, there's a reason why you're the number 2 player. Like, if you were the number 1 player, if you're good enough to be number 1, you'd be number 1. And it's a lot of stuff that goes into this. Now, this is one question I'm gonna keep up here once we get past the overall breakdown of what happened. I will answer my man Andre. Andre, I gotta hit you back up, champ. I know you hit me up on Twitter DMs about something, and I didn't get back to you. That's on me. But let's get the overall breakdown first, and correct some things that a lot of people were saying. This was not a sexy game offensively. A lot of people made it seem like, oh my God, Max Brown played so well. Neither team really did anything much on offense. Florida's very undisciplined, and Florida did what every team that Florida State has played that believes they don't have the talent. You muddy up the game, you control time of possession, and you try to limit your turnovers. Period. Florida actually executed it to the best of anybody that I've seen do that. Early on, before the hits came on, Max Brown was making some dimes, and I mean he was putting the ball in places that only he could fit it in. Pause. Using his legs, extending the drive. Florida had the ball for I believe 11 game minutes in that first quarter. Florida State, I believe, only had the ball for three drives in the entire first half. And people were saying we're really challenging the offensive play calling. And I get it. When it doesn't work, there's plenty of questions. And if we don't get to the questions now, trust and believe at 1 p.m. when I do my breakdown, we will fucking get it. Actually, I may not even do it. I may delay it to give more people an opportunity to become a member. We may do it on Tuesday, but we're going to do a breakdown. And it's probably going to be my most critical one. But when you don't have the pieces in place, that's when you are critical. Things mess up more when you have to rely on people who you don't normally have to rely on a day-to-day basis. But someone's like, I questioned the play calling. And I said, the first play, we went back 15 yards. When the play was there, the hole was fucking there by Trey. He decided to try to bounce it out, and then it got stalled. And instead of just going down, he made a bad read worse by going backwards. I'm here to tell you, this is no defense and this is no caping for the offense. There's just not a lot of good plays for 2nd and 25 guys. There's not. And then on top of that, you've got your guy who doesn't have a lot of experience freezing in critical moments. And I don't know what Norvell said to him. I don't know what happened to get him out of this situation, but kudos to get him out of there. And then even going and still breaking down the first half and breaking down the game. Florida's only offensive touchdown that came in that happened was when a phantom call that nobody can explain. And this is the frustrating part as a coach, and why I'm glad Mike Norvell was cussing them to slap the fuck out. Who was the penalty on, and what did they do so that I can be a better coach? We assumed that it was on the blitz or the blitzer. They focused in on Patrick Payton, and when you looked at both of them, neither was in the wrong. There was nothing that they did. So when you got that, now granted, and after that point, our linebackers got lost for about a half, for the rest of the half. Like they were paying too much attention to the motions and things, and not to their role and responsibility. And then in the epic way that I always tell anybody who knows me and anybody who's listened to me, the guy who actually played the game, the guy who has called the game, the guy who has this is literally all I do. There's only one adjustment that Adam Fuller makes consistently in the last 2 years. It's to get them in, calm them down, and tell them to do your fucking job. That is the adjustment. And they start doing their fucking jobs, and everything falls in line. Now, they scored on that. It happens. Our linebacker comes down. We don't have that. 2 of the bigger runs, we have that. But guys were trying to do other people's jobs and not their own job. So that kind of summarizes the first half. But even in that, I even got into a space in the lovely Smooch, one of my good Twitter friends and very big supporter of Big Game over the years. Shout out from Tallahassee. I had to, it wasn't a matter of trying to yell at her. It was a lot of, when you're in these spaces, we got to do it better. This is why I don't like doing spaces. I like this space right here or any type you have like people who could call, even when you have a call-in show or when you have stuff, you want to make sure you have control over it or it becomes anarchy like the Kane spaces and shit. But I'm trying to talk and I'm like, the game is 12-7. Like you're talking as if we're getting blown the fuck out and we're not getting blown the fuck out. And when you understand football, again, as I tell people, I don't know why FSU fans believe this, but you don't score on every offensive drive. And sometimes the other team makes plays. That's why if you ever hear me do a prediction, I never predict us to shut somebody out. Now, it was, oh God, I hope that wasn't. Matter Daddy puts, I thought they called 11 for flexing a bit over Brown. I hope that wasn't the call. That was some bullshit. Shout out to Matter Daddy for becoming a member. And for that, let me make sure I'm correct before I say this. He was already a member, but we're down 2. So I thought him rejoining. All right, so we're at 98 members. So we're 2 more down. That's all good. But when you're down a score in a rivalry game on the road where a lot of stuff wasn't going your way, you spotted them 2 points because, again, Tate looked at the pressure on your goal line when he should have got rid of the ball. You see guys, they're bringing more than you have. You understand. It's what I always tell kids. Understand the scenario. Understand the situation that you're in. A lot of times you say that when it's like 3rd and 1. Don't go for the big play if you don't have to. Get the fucking first down, and then we'll worry about the big play next. But let's get a new set of downs. Don't give up the sack. They're literally bringing more, so you have to know. If anybody watched this Texas-Jags game, you would have saw that Texas brought a blitz. C.J. Stroud found where the blitz was coming, and you throw it. There's literally, if they're bringing somebody from there, there is a space in that area. Might not get us the first down, but we got to get rid of it. We don't want to take the sack. He took the sack, got the safety. Miami fans, you see what would have happened if you would have got the safety against Jay Trap. It's like, if he's done, I don't expect. Like I never expected us to blow this team out. It's a rivalry game on the road. Really good coach team. But there's times when they aren't. But they got some talent. They've actually had better recruiting classes than we have the last few years, and stuff goes on. Then we go into the second half, and our defense stymies them, continues to dominate. Offensively, we had some things that were questionable, but Tate kind of got his rhythm again. We drive down. We were able to score more points than they are, and that's, at the end of the day, that's all that fucking matters. Some things to take note on this. Again, Florida did a great job with time of possession. 34 minutes, 52 seconds is how long they had the ball. They turned the ball over once. Should have been more turnovers, but our defense dropped a couple critical picks that probably could have changed the complexity of the game. 8 penalties by Florida for 90 yards, 5 penalties for 22 yards for us. So our penalties it was really the one big penalty. And that's why I keep trying to tell people, don't complain about the refs. The refs really weren't that bad. It was one bad call. And I'm going to be honest with you. There was a pass interference that they called that really wasn't a pass interference, in my opinion. I can't straight up tell you exactly where it was at, but I personally think that the referees were nowhere near as bad as what they've been in the past. So and they did what I hate. Like I tell people, I don't necessarily like referees doing this shit, but that was crazy. Now the spitting penalty was clearly did you see that? Like that man, I think it was Keandre. Kudos to Keandre Jones for being way more disciplined than me. I would have been I would have cemented myself in Seminole lore by straight up beating the fuck out of that person. It would not they would not have been able to hold me. There's one thing that you don't ever do to me. Don't spit on me. Call me a motherfucker, call me this, call me that. You can do whatever you want to do. Smack me, I'll probably take that and back away. Man, don't you ever try to transmit your loser disease on me. But they referees have a way of trying to make up shit when things happen. And but going back into it, Florida was really good on third down efficiency. They missed the 1 4th down and they went for it. 86 holding a team under 100 yards passing is very difficult regardless of who it is. I've told you guys that one of the keys, and I remember with Coach Andrews, it was hold a team under 200, hold a team under 300 yards, a total offense, and you should win that game. We had 16 first downs to their 13, and anybody who watched the second half of that game, we have a drop touchdown by Keon Coleman that would have iced the game. Nephew Kalen DeLoach should have probably went ahead and returned that into the end zone, but he took a knee, which was the right thing to do. Shaheen dropped his interception. A lot of things that should have happened as far as scoring points that would have made this game look a lot different in the second half. But at the end of the day, who fucking cares about the blowout? Now, let's talk about specific things that could have made the game better without going over the film. What's up, Marcus McKinney? What's up, Matt Day? We will go to – actually, we're going to start over my man Andre Moore, big supporter of the show. Put big game. Why Tate ain't pull it at least once on the read option would have made his night a lot less stressful. I'm thinking that Coach Norvell was trying to simplify the game for him. So here's what happens when you have an RPO, right? You're reading somebody. It can be the defensive end. In some aspects, we read the linebacker. Some aspects, depending upon what the pass option part is, you're literally reading the slot receiver. So if you're looking to see what that guy is doing over them, if they're coming down, you pull it, throw it to that guy, or if they're shifting into some kind of zone, you throw it to the second guy. So, but what happens is in all of that, you're requiring the quarterback to think. And I think we don't want him to think. We want him to do. And Panama Jack just put up a great point. Once we sped the game up for Tate, he was good. Tate isn't processing things as fast as we would like him to process things. Oh, shit. Give me 1 second, guys. Hello? I'm doing great, Chef Jordan. Yeah, I forgot. I'm recording for about 30 more minutes. Will you be free in 30 minutes? I appreciate it. I would definitely give you a call because you dictate a lot right now. So we gotta make sure we get that right. All right, brother. Bye. So as I was saying, they had to speed the game up to get Tate to make quicker decisions. But you're not wrong. You're 100% right. He is suffering from the DeAndre Francois disease. And I want people to realize, man, you got to know how you pull out as a grown man. Your pull-out game got to become immaculate. You got to know when to pull out. Because if you keep leaving it in, you're going to birth something that you're not ready for. But if you can pull out, hey, for those who've left it in for too long, if your pull-out game is immaculate, you're going to live a good life. But if it would just pull out once or twice, he would be able to get this. And the other thing too, Andre, that if you watch my the game breakdowns, and I've told you guys, especially the North Alabama one, and I also talked about this with Jay Trav, because people keep talking about the offensive line not doing well, and it's simply not the case. There's video evidence and video proof. If you watch this, again, I invite everybody. If you don't watch it live, it's at 6:00. It's free. You don't have to be a member, but if you are a greenie, you are invited. Like, you need to take advantage of your membership and literally go and look at the StreamYard and go look at the community. Click on the StreamYard so that we can watch it. The offensive line gave plenty of time. The quarterback tasted, but actually CJ Stroud again, clinic on pocket presence. When you drop back, once you get to the back of your drop, you see him do that hop thing. Nobody's open. You climb the pocket. If you get to the top of the pocket, if you then went back and you climb the pocket, you got to get rid of the ball. You got to get rid of the ball, or you got to run. One of the bad situations where we ended up having to punt it, but like Tate takes a sack and then we get a delay of game, I believe. So it was double bad. there's not a lot of great plays for 3rd and 20, and there's less plays for 3rd and 25. So if he would have climbed the pocket, at worst it's 3rd and 6. It's a lot of good plays for 3rd and medium. Not a lot of good plays for 3rd and forever. So I think Tate, the coaching cue for Tate, and Tate's performance was a D+. And I think that's still being gracious. So I want people to understand Tate did not perform well at all. Our offense did not perform well at all. Even the savior of that game is, and I would say Trey Benson had moments where he didn't perform to the best of his ability. Again, if you've been listening to me, I've been stressing this the entire time. And this is what made Trayshawn Ward so good. He's patient. You got to be patient when you're running this. Again, the play that went for negative 12 yards, I believe. Literally, if Trey slows it down a little bit, there's a seam that he missed that would have probably been a touchdown out the gate. That changes the trajectory of the game. When he slowed down his process, he was getting 15 yards a clip. It's very simple. You cannot the running game that we run, you cannot you cannot just not read. You cannot have vision. When he slowed it down, he made incredible plays, and he showed you why he's considered why he's one of the better running backs in the nation. When he just head down and he makes up his mind, it's a struggle. But I would even give Trey a C- on that game. And we're going to need a lot better play than that. I think the other side of it is that when Tate slows down and reads and not just try to throw it at Johnny Wilson, we all have our comfort zone. Johnny Wilson obviously is comfort zone. But like, you got to be able to attack the middle of that field. Our tight ends should have been incorporated in that game a little bit more. And, again, patience is the key. But also, I got to figure this out. Tate's got a little wind-up thing that I don't necessarily like. Matoya, Josephine, what up? Paul Feinbaum and Matt Berry are hating on us super hard. Don't give a fuck about Mr. Over Redenbacher, and I don't even know who the fuck Matt Berry is. I'm going to be honest with you. Fuck him. Paul Feinbaum is not. Shout out Kenneth Black for becoming a new member. Shout out to that. But I don't really give a fuck about Paul Feinbaum. If I'm to be 100% like honest with you, fuck him with Magic's dick. That might have put us over 100. I'm not sure. It won't show me again until tomorrow. But appreciate y'all becoming members. But it's just a crazy, like, again, like, haters gonna hate. To quote, rap music today, people, it's not as quite as like when I was coming up, it was, if you ain't got the haters, you ain't popping. So like for us to be in the position that we're in and for it to really enrage people so much, it's interesting. We'll talk about this on Big Games BS. Again, I invite you guys to show that Big Games BS don't cost you nothing. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 9:30, we do a show. We're going to talk about Florida again because I hate Florida, but we'll talk about the week in college football and a lot of stuff. It's probably going to be close to a 2-hour show tomorrow because it's just a lot of dope shit happened this past weekend. A lot of ups and downs for me too. I had a really crazy weekend. We won. We got one more game to before the school that I'm at. Again, I told somebody I coached the same. I watch football a lot. I watched the same team Friday night, I watched the same team Saturday night, and I watched the same team Sunday night. They're very talented, very well coached teams that have players that sometimes freestyle and do their own shit, but they're so good, and there's only one team that can beat these guys, and that's them. That's Mandarin Mustangs. The only team that can beat Mandarin is Mandarin, and we do a fucking hell of a job doing that sometimes. We don't make it easier. It's hard to beat the referees, your opponent, and you. So you got to keep it to two. Referees gonna always do some shit that you don't like, and the opponent, they practice too, and they're gonna do some shit. I remember we played one team that was so goddamn sorry. that they accidentally put themselves in position to make a play. Fucks you up. The Seminoles look the exact same way, and then the Jags look. There's aspects. And you know what? There's people who hate on Mandarin in the Jacksonville area, say we duck people, and we're one of. I think we're the only. It's only 2 teams in Jacksonville that are in the state playoffs series still, and that other team we beat. And we got a chance to be able to play in Tallahassee next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, if we take care of business on Friday night. But people hate on us, say we're overrated, all this other shit, but can't beat us. Everybody says the same shit about Florida State. I'm telling you, it is crazy to hear people use the exact same excuses on a high school, college, and an NFL team. And it's wild. It is fucking wild. But nevertheless, here we are. Fuck all of them. All that matters is us. And I think as a fan base, you got to take the same mentality that the players take. Everything else is outside noise. We know this. There's a 100% chance that we won't be in if we don't beat Louisville. If we beat Louisville, statistically speaking, we will be in because everything else takes care of itself. And I would rather be 14-0 and miss the playoffs and be able to bitch and say, guys, we the real champions. We got a stake at it than to not. But that doesn't mean Oregon's a really good team. Oregon and Washington got to play each other. Something's going to cancel out. And at the end of the day, when we look at what Washington did, Washington beat their rival, who was 5-6, by 3 points. Bama had a Jesus loves me moment to be able to keep themselves in conversation, beating Auburn. Georgia, who should have beat the dog shit out of Georgia Tech, beat them by 8. And am I missing somebody? I don't even think Oregon covered. We're the only ones that covered the spread. And you guys know what I say. Good teams win, but great teams cover. And I think Jesus said that in a Mount of Olives or something like that. But good teams win, great teams cover. And again, and don't fucking tell me what somebody else said. Embrace that shit. Expect that shit. Fuck that bitch. That's what can we make that a shirt, a slang? Embrace that shit. Take that shit. Fuck that shit. Embrace that shit. Embrace that shit. Fuck that bitch. Embrace that shit. Fuck that bitch. That's what we should say. Put that under Paul Feinbaum. Put that under everybody who says stuff. It's so bad that we got people who I know are competitors saying shit like you shouldn't want to go to the playoffs because you're just going to get blown out. I'm like, dog, you played the game as a Warrior. How the fuck can you say that shit? Like, who the fuck would say some shit like that? But nonetheless, it's 1,000,001 people. This is the 4th time that Florida State has been in this position in the history of Florida State. I wouldn't change their position for the world when it comes to this. Anybody who has questions in this or comments about the game in particular or what's going on, let me know. We will take this right here. Verse dominated left tackle George. I've never seen a left tackle sack his quarterback. That will be on our YouTube channel. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. It's on IG. That was our hymn of the week. Order My Steps was the song behind it. Jared Verse definitely knocked that motherfucker around. It was a thing of beauty. That was a guy, again, this is why you got to pay attention to who you listen to. Don't get into that trolling battles. I want to tell you the truth about Florida State. I told y'all this would be right here. Now, I ain't going to lie, I was a little nervous when Jay Trav went down, but we're still in position to get everything we want to. So I definitely thought we would go regular season undefeated, win the ACC. I predicted Florida being 5-7. I also predicted Miami being 7-5. Florida felt like they got a bump up when they got George, and I believe they got another D tackle, and they were saying that's where we're going to be better than everybody at. And you just saw what happened to that buddy right there. Buddy was in a bad spot, man. Bad spot. Like, it's one of those things, man. We used to call the circle the duck, and you got to make that. You find a kid who ain't no good, and then you make him question life at the end of it. Luckily, I've never been the duck. But we have found I found it as a coach before, and we have literally ran the same fucking play all over again. I felt bad. That kid might have jumped off the top of a stadium at the end of the game, but that's not my problem. My job is not to boost another kid's self-esteem that I'm not coaching. My job is to worry about the self-esteem of the kids that I'm coaching. We all get paid. So, yeah, this bitch And we are like I do it. Ask my son. Ask Trey with flag football. We find the worst athlete that is on the other team, and we are going to attack that motherfucker over and over and over and over again. Once we find the duck, we circle the duck, we attack the duck, and we make the duck. We make the duck do what it do. Deborah H. I'm gonna answer this. I mean, if hearing my jokes, because some of y'all aren't greens. Some of y'all are not greenies now. You know, I'm gonna answer this whites question, but you got to become a green for me. It's $3.99. Green just means you're a member. I love it. I appreciate it. It supports my nonprofit. If you would consider doing that, we have different levels, but you know, it's all good if you don't. Just saying consider it. But this is a great question that you're asking, Miss Deborah H. What was your opinion of the call on Peyton? I couldn't believe that call. Any news on the recruits at the game? I'm gonna tell you this. Oh man, let me, if I could find it. I'm gonna take y'all off of the sharing the screen for a second here. I'm gonna try to see if I can find my dog up there, because I'm gonna show. This is why I have one. People say I did not like Mike Norvell, and that is a fucking lie from Satan himself. I have always liked Mike Norvell. I hate losing, and Mike hates losing. And when I found out that both me and Mike share a hatred of losing, it made me like him even more, outside the fact that he treats my son extremely well. But if you can't see this, let me click on that bitch. That was my face too. Mike Norvell, every real person in America had that same face for them referees. And we wanted to say, and that's what I wanted to say. Excuse me for those who do not understand AAVE. That's African American Vernacular English. You know, it's a colloquialism. A lot of people who are from the South can understand this. And I apologize. I'm going to use this word that you don't hear me use very often. Even though I'm supposed to get a pass because of the color of my skin. I don't believe in racial epithets and trying to say those things. That's why I use cool words like house word and pilgrim when I want to describe people. But Mike looked at him and he called him a pan or a band. Anybody, I'm telling you this right now, that it was a country music singer that used this a few years ago. It was actually pretty good. People try to call him racist, and my friends asked me, hey, and I said, I can't really call him racist. He used it in the right context. He didn't use it like he literally said, you bitch ass houseword. Pussy ass houseword. If you hear a black person say that, and if you don't know what a houseword is, it's pussy ass N-word. If Mike would have said that in that moment, I would have given Mike all the forgiveness in the world, because that was what that was. That was some bitch ass shit. And when you say that, you a Floridian, like you mean that shit. Like you mean it. Like if somebody says that to me, bitch, you got to fight me right now. Hey, I don't know what it is. It just takes you from 0 to 100 real quick. But Miss Deb, that is how I felt in that moment. I wanted to go through. It made me. I had to attend a funeral, and that's why I didn't go. And if I'd been there on that sideline, I'd have probably been on TV too, right with Mike. And they'd have had to get cousin Lanier Coleman, one of the big ass strength and conditioning coach, to probably pull my ass back. But any news on the recruits at the game? Oh yeah. Shout out to Charles. I'm gonna call him Uncle Charles Lester because he dresses like an old ass man. I know he wears heavy cologne. I know he got some country ass uncles. But Charles Lester and them boys was there, had a great time. Nothing better than having your commits go on the dime of your rival and enjoy the festivities. Get fed, get some good beverage. Ain't nothing like Coke from the concession stands. It's really strong sometimes. They got a chance to get good, refreshing beverage and enjoy a solid ass whooping. Everybody was there. Jeremiah Smith had a good time. Like a lot of people that we have just saw that, wow, in a situation where they're banged up and a lot of mistakes got made and a lot of things got called back. Florida is still light years behind what it looks like Florida State. So, yeah, that's that. We're going to talk about this more, Kev. Again, we got to get you out of the white section and get you into the greeny section, but you're my dog, so I fucks with you. I be seeing your ass in the comments a lot, so I'm gonna give you your propers. Who the duck at Louisville? We all know who the duck at Louisville. For whatever reason, my dog coach at Louisville believes he's one of their better players. It's either Javaris Brownlee is going to have a revamped story, or a redemption arc, or he's going to want to kill him. Unalive himself at the end of the game. And I'm not going to push him there, but we're going to definitely pick on him. But it's not just that. Louisville had, and we'll do more of a breakdown again Thursday. Thursday is when I do the breakdown of the opponents. But Louisville's down to two actual corners that play. They are very hurt on defense. We have to do a better job of scheming up stuff that makes Tate feel better. Feel more comfortable. Like maybe 1-2, boom, 1-2, go. Or really just moving those chains, getting better with our running game patience and stuff like that. It should be better at this point in the game. But yeah. So all that being said, Brown is the duck. Yeah, y'all can cut that out, put it on a poster, share it, telegraph the motherfucker, put it on the Goodyear blimp. Javaris Brownlee ain't good. If you go with I went back and looked at Pitt, guess who Pitt dunked on? Javaris Brownlee. Everybody's dunking on Javaris Brownlee, and he's a little hurt too. I'm gonna leave that picture of Mike up a little bit. I like when my coach is up there. Shout out to Jeff Hill, always supporting all of our shows with sporadics and everything that we got. We have one of the best defenses not getting talked about much from the media. How much better do you think we could get with Darrell Jackson coming in the playoffs? Darrell Jackson makes our defensive front four that much better. We can actually put a package in that they try to work on in Jacksonville in the preseason, where you have D-Jax, you have Farmer, you can actually put Fable on the outside, or you can put Fisk on the outside, a bigger package, but that is still for pass rush because you've got another dominant body that you can't just move out of there. He's a big boy. He's violent. He's basically Farmer, but a little bit bigger. And those guys are good. And thank you for the donation too, Jeff, of $10. The media does, like, here's what, again, it's not just the national media. It's our media. If y'all know, it's a reason why I give, like, I tell y'all the story so that y'all can see, so that y'all can put everything together. When my son likes you, for my son to like you on first impression, dog, motherfucker, you got to be a real one. And the first coach that Trey liked, now Trey liked Dale because Dale coached me, but Trey loved Adam Fuller. And if you've been listening to me, I've been telling y'all that Adam Fuller is nowhere near as bad as the hate and the vitriol that he got in our own fan base. So we can't be expecting the national media to be coming on board with what we're saying right away, when just as close as a few weeks ago, people were bitching and saying there are people still saying, get rid of Adam Fuller. And the reality is Adam Fuller is one of the best defensive minds in football right now. And he's going to get better because he's getting the pieces. Look what Adam Fuller has done with developed 3-stars and a few 4-stars sprinkled in. Imagine what Adam Fuller is going to do with a 5-star corner. Like basically your whole secondary is basically 4 and 5 stars, right? Imagine what Adam Fuller is going to do with if he gets a 5-star defensive end. Imagine what Adam Fuller is going to do when he has nothing but 4-star linebackers. Imagine what Adam Fuller is going to do when he gets the ingredients and the pieces to be able to do what he does. Kev, shout out to Kev greening up. Love it, man. Got with a major color, baby. That's what I like. You look good, Kev. When you comment, like give me an amen in there. When you comment, when you got the green, it reads better. It just pops off this big ass screen that I'm looking at. I appreciate you, Gil. Adam Fuller had a top 15 defense last year, and we came into the season, and guys like Bud Elliott tell you who use stats. There's no knock on Bud Elliott. Bud Elliott is very smart, very intelligent guy, pretentious, very intelligent guy. Love Bud. I love Bud and what he does. They tell you don't look at the stats, but that's all they tell you is the stats. But then they tell you when it's him, don't look at the stats. Here's the thing. We got to appreciate what we got before we can have everybody else get on everybody else for not appreciating what we got. And I'm going to tell you this. A Fuller D is big, A Fuller D is aggressively penetrating opponents. A Fuller D is something you got to be a fan of, and it doesn't matter who you've lost in your life, in the game of life. If you got a big Fuller D, life is going good for you. You always want Fuller D, and if you don't have Fuller D, alphamilljackson.com is where you need to go. And it'll help you get your D fuller, and you'll become a bigger fan of Fuller D. You'll if you have a Fuller D, you appreciate when you see Fuller D. Again, but that's that. Some people have that. Some of you men. Women, we can correct you too. Got low testosterone, high estrogen, and it's affecting your ability to live life with a Fuller D. And I want everybody to have that Fuller D. Stephen Brown got a big point. One of the drops that Keon had was behind him, tough catch. That one in the end zone, it was high, but we got to get that. We've seen you make way bigger catches. But that's okay. Even Killer was like, damn, Keon Coleman fucking up. That's Killer's my baby boy. Let's see what else we got here. Louisville, Stephen Brown puts Louisville will pressure Tate as much as FU with less talent. Just need to stay patient. Yeah, they've got some cats over there. We just got to be able to pick them apart, spread them out, and then what we got to do is have the patience in the running game. If our running game gets going, we have the perfect scenario. We saw what Tate did last year. We want to be able to, again, 20 throws, 40 rushes. We have that. We should probably leave this game as a victor. If we have to throw it more than that, it gets a little questionable. We'll see that. Definitely shout out to Jennifer Fields' boy. Akeem Dent had a great game. I like the game that they played with the safeties with Max Brown. So they would have one show that he was coming and then he'd back up. Then another one would come. Then it'll be the other one blitzing. And shout out to Shaheem Brown, too. Shaheem Brown, what people don't realize is Akeem Dent got. So Shaheem Brown knows how to play both safety positions. Akeem got hurt. Shaheem had to come in and play Akeem's position the beginning of last game without having the reps that he needed to be great there. And so now they put, now that Akeem actually played more of a role that Jamie Robinson played last year, but did a better job of wrapping up and tackling. And if you notice, our guys was fucking banging. That's why you saw Brown start slowing down when he started taking them hits. And you also noticed that Etienne got hobbled as well as I believe Johnson got hobbled. Two really, really good running backs. Let me tell you this. This is just us talking. Y'all can tell them motherfuckers I don't care. I hope Etienne transfers out. Please transfer Trevor Etienne. And just like I hope Lance Guidry takes a job at LSU. Please get the fuck out of there. I don't want them rivals getting back. I don't want them being good at nothing in life. And if Guidry is gone, then that makes Miami's defense go back to being pie, even though they weren't great, but they're going back to being pie. And I want Trevor Etienne gone. Shout out Candle Lady. Candle Lady just says F the game. I need to let you call in just so I can hear your voice say that. That'd be so nice. Just as country as you want to be. And let me see something. You could have just made that just make yourself a member, sweetheart. That's all you got to do. You could have been a member for that. But it's all good. I appreciate the $5 donation by Tanya. Louisville. The thing about Louisville is we're going to be aggressive with them because Plummer is a stimulus package. Plummer wants to give the ball away. We just have to make sure that we wrap up just a little bit better than we did. I don't think Louisville's running backs are better. I think their offensive line is a little bit better because it's not patchwork like Florida's was, but I also don't think they have the wide receivers. They got Coleman. If everybody remembers Kevin Coleman, I believe that was the kid who went with Dion to Jackson State, the 5-star out of St. Louis, Missouri. That's who we wanted. That's their number one guy now because their top wide receiver got banged up a couple weeks ago. And I'm not sure if he's back. They may have a lot of guys try to come back for this game, seeing as this is the slot. But I promise you this, if we jump on their ass, they will fold. I think Louisville's happy with going to the Orange Bowl. They're content with going to the Orange Bowl. We're not content with that shit. Shaheem plays both. I think Shaheem is a better strong safety than he is a free safety, in my opinion. But all in all, again, I like dominance. We didn't dominate by any means, but when you're 12-0 You're undefeated against rivals. You're in these situations where you can see where you can clearly get better. It's one thing when you don't know where you're going to get better. That's when it's hopeless, right? But like, we're not in a hopeless situation at all. And I need y'all to be more positive, man. Be happy. Breathe. Like, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give you, before the Thursday preview, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next week. We're going to have a drive that stalls out. Our defense is gonna get into a 3rd and long, and they're gonna convert a 3rd and long. They may hit a big play and score. We may even be down by 3 points at one point in the game. But it all works out in the end. And if it doesn't, most of y'all didn't think we would be in this situation beginning of this month. Most fans didn't even believe we would get out of September 3-1, let alone 4-0. The same mob asked a great question. I got to do, and part for this insane mob question, and the same mob, again, don't be coming here with them whites only questions. Get yourself in the green. But I like this question. And I've thought about doing like just this day in Seminole history, or like questions like that when people want to talk about Black in the Day and stuff like that. Because I'm a Seminole historian. I was a fan well before I was a player, even though I almost went to the U. But well before I was a player, I was really a big, because I grew up in Tallahassee in the 90s. If FAMU and FSU was popping, like how it is right now. Like FAMU is going to host the SWAC championships. They should beat Prairie View. They beat them earlier this year. Then they'll play in the Potato Salad Bowl in Atlanta. Next weekend they'll play in that, and so that will make them the HBC, the Black National Champions. Which for them, there's more money. I think they get like $2-3 million for going to that bowl game. You don't really make that much money when it comes. They'll make a lot of money for the celebration, for the SWAC championships, because it's sold out. But they don't make a lot of money when you're traveling in the college football playoff. My man put the real question: what was it? What was it like in 2002 when Sean Taylor and Greg Jones was banging? Because I was at that game. So in the Orange Bowl, if you go back and you look at the video, James Coleman, was there. Got a chance to block John Vilma, great linebacker. Got a chance to be my teammate later on. Good block. And G came in, boom. And I remember Sean Taylor in the pouring down rain game earlier that season caught G on the sideline, and like, he got G. He banged him. But I'm going to tell you this. G was like Sean Taylor, unlike James. What's the number on the dude from Miami? James Williams, that I put that went viral, got a lot of Miami fans and they low testosterones. James Williams ran from Trey Benson. Sean Taylor was a grown ass fucking man and saw it coming and knew that G had to drop on him. And he was just like, you know what I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna hit him. I'm going to make him run me over. And he took it. And I watched it. I was just like, that motherfucker trucked his ass. I mean, G was mad. The only thing I tell running backs now when I see them in situations where you have a two-way go, I don't give a fuck what happened in y'all past life. That man could have slapped the fuck out of your mama. Bro, score the touchdown. We'll run their ass over later, but G sacrificed the touchdown. We ended up scoring later. Matt Henshaw caught the ball, even though I'm mad at Chris because I was the first read and I was wide the fuck open on the play action. I had my slam release, and he took that from me. I don't have a passing touchdown. That would have been my first touchdown in my career too, but I guess I'm cool because my first touchdown came when my grandma was at my first game, so it works. But like, shout out to Stephen Brown for being truthful. Most thought we were going to be 10-2. Me too, Kev. I bet the Natty. I don't know if I'm gonna get that money back, but I would be extremely happy if I do. Um, and I get what Tanya's saying. I'm happy 12-0. But I also get what my guy Insane Mob is saying. I feel you, but the goal has always been to win. I think we got to win the title, or it's no matter what, it's a wasted year. But great question here, Kev. Best fullback per Bobby Bowden, bar none. That's from the old man's mouth. Old man said I was top 5 though, so can't nobody tell me shit. I don't necessarily believe I'm top 5. I got a case for top 10. It's some really good fullbacks that came through Florida State. But old man said I was one of the top 5 best fullbacks he's ever had during his last week of preparation for the Gator Bowl, which was his last game. Man, I miss that old man. Shout out to Mike Bartz with the $5 donation. I'm not worried. Let's fucking go. Knowles, 2023 national champions. Prove the haters wrong, 15-0. Carlos with 7 undefeated, 7 perfect seasons to UF 0. Same mob. I graduated college. I don't know where that came from. Dope. I'm happy. You graduated from Florida State? No, you said you. Did you say you were just at the game in 03, or was it school? Yeah. It's the best fullback in Florida State. Yes, Def Bar. There ain't nobody close to Bar now. Actually, the next closest one is a dude named Dane Williams. Dane Williams was cold as fuck, man. Dane Williams had the touchdown record for years, and they tried to get me to do that, but it didn't work out. Dane was cold. Shout out to Tanisha. Happy belated birthday to Tanisha. Yeah, anybody got any other questions in regards to the game, in regards to life, in regards to any other things that are going on? Don't you bring that shit up. Y'all don't know what he just typed. I just put it up there for those who are gonna be listening to this. Motherfucker brought up this one. Real talk, right? I almost fought. Louisville came down. So I got a friend, John Heron, who's on Louisville's staff. Louisville's offensive line coach is from Middleburg. And he comes down, he recruits this area. And on this day, Dawson comes in, and I'm coming into practice. I think it was in May. I don't know when exactly it was, but I'm walking in, and I see the orange and green, and I don't recognize him, so I assume he's Miami, and I'm just like, everybody on Mandarin staff said, damn, James, you ain't even going to hide your disdain for him. And I was just like, man, fuck that dude, man. Like, I don't got no beef with nobody who can't beat me. Like, it's easy. I was like, I ain't got no smoke with them. And then I was like, then we were talking, I was like, anybody else in here, ops? And then I saw the dude with Louisville. He said, were you on that 0-2 team? I said, man, get the fuck out of this office right now before I whoop your ass. I was like, I hate that game, dog. That was one of my that game. I didn't play in that game. It was cold. It was pouring down raining. It was wet. It was just terrible, man. It was terrible, dog. I hated that shit. That shit was awful, bro. Fuck, it was Brom. Wait a minute. Was Brom the fucking quarterback then? And I think Brom might have been. That motherfucker might have been Brom. Mike Hall put the game should have been canceled. Bro, I have never seen a situation where it poured down raining. Like when we left, it was pouring down raining. I'm not talking about I'm talking about a heavy, hard rain from when we got there on Wednesday to when we left Friday morning. It did not stop. Like it was just, it's one of them scenes that they put the rain in movies and you don't believe that that's a real thing. But like, nah, bro, that's a real fucking thing. Like this was crazy. My Bart's puts, do I think LJ would flip? LJ McCray, defensive end from Daytona Beach mainland. I think LJ's, they did some good things to make sure LJ stays. Like it's not about money, but LJ McCray. I mean, it would be nice addition. I don't really think it hurts us as much as what people would think. I've had to watch film because they played an opponent, and I didn't really. I think he's a good player. I think we'll be all right. Let's see here. I think he was better than Edgar Bennett. I know Mark. I'm not finna have his little brother. I don't want to fight his little brother. Game should have been canceled. That one should have been. Was it Regon? I was there. So I remember. Also appreciate Tanisha. Please, guys, go like this right now. A lot of you guys are watching. This is probably one of the most watched videos we've had. I would love for all of you guys to be there tomorrow morning to watch my BS, but also push the like button, and then after this, please comment. It definitely helps us with the algorithm continue to push forward and find new fans. That's how we get to the new subscribers. That's how y'all get to the money. That's how a lot of other stuff happens as we continue to progress and blow this thing up. Look at a couple more of these other comments. Anybody have anything football related? Chris Ricks definitely. I hate when people besmirch my dog Chris's name, but Chris definitely fucked that game. Is a pig's pussy pork. Do you think Tramel Jones stay committed to FSU? The only way Tramel doesn't stay committed to us is if we pull a scholarship. If you want to go Tramel, oh man, it was such a beautiful thing to watch Tramel grow up. Like last game, Tramel, like it was, oof. It gave me a look of what our offense will look like next year. This year, I have two extremely talented running backs that we have to get the ball to in space, but we have a ton of talented wide receivers. And if Tramel plays like that more often, ooh, you about to see a kid make a jump that's going to be exponentially tremendous. The boy throws a pretty ball. He's got a lot of smarts. Like he literally, without him doing what he was doing, we don't win that game against Seminole. Even though my running back still went off, but he definitely was the winner Seminole. K Hall is definitely doing well. I saw him at the last game. That's my brother, one of my roommates in college. He is the head coach of Live Oak Swanee. Jeffrey Bell. Make sure Jeffrey got a is a member. When I saw how Verse was in beast mode yesterday and played like a man possessed, I thought, man, I'm gonna need James to explain this shit tomorrow to me. What took him so long? It's not that he hasn't been playing well. People have been game planning against him. And what happens is a lot of people have this. It's why our passing defense is so much better. We're locking up people in man. Our defensive line is putting pressure. Quarterbacks are getting rid of the ball faster. Whereas you hold it a little bit more in zone, you're trying to wait to see if somebody's going to sit in the zone. And they haven't had that opportunity. Guys are playing man. Our DBs have played lights out. But he's been playing well all season. Did y'all know that we are ranked 7th in the nation in total sacks? That's crazy. I had no idea. I would have thought we weren't that good in sacks. But Fuller's D has been penetrating offensive linemen like the offensive line of Skeezers. Remember that was the Clemson's not a rival, but they are a op. I fuck Clemson. They definitely an op. What up with Bell? I think Bell has a hip issue. So somebody put up. Yeah, what up with Bell? You can get Kevin, get that from White, get that to Green. What's up with Bell? He seems not to be a part of the game plan. Is he hurt? I think it's a hip issue. Guys keep saying that. He had a catch, I believe, but he did 2 end arounds. It's just the way the game goes. We definitely kept Pearsall from Pearsall also hurt himself on that catch that he had to go get. It's a hell of a grab too. But good player. I think what happened was that they were bringing a lot of pressure and they were daring him to beat us with his arm. And I think he was being told to not lose us the game. And he didn't win us the game by any means, but he didn't lose us the game. I like Brock. Brock is exciting as fuck, but Brock went out that bitch damn near threw an interception at the gate. So, fully deep penetrate, no disrespect, but it take a second to go through his progressions. Definitely takes him a little bit longer than I would like. It's definitely I don't know what the process is going on with Tate, but I got to rewatch the film. Again, he didn't lose us the game. I don't necessarily think he won us the game. but he didn't lose us the game. And I I just don't I don't understand. But it's also a guy who hasn't had many reps in real time situations. So it's different when you've played it. It's hard for me to explain that to people, but like when you've the more you play, the slower the game gets, and you're able to process information a lot faster. And it's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff going on. So, and I think he understood the magnitude of this game, not just from a situation of we lose this, we're out of the playoffs, but it's a rivalry game. A lot more is at stake. You're on the road. Next week will be in a neutral site. A lot will be at stake, but I think a lot of different things will happen. I think our defense has to do a better job of not playing bend don't break. They have to probably be a little more aggressive and get more 3-and-outs early. And I think we have to make sure that we step on people's throats and unalive them early. So again, that Jackson won't be able to play until the bowl game, guys. So the regular season, once the regular season's over, all rules go off, and that's why we can have like a lot of the recruits can come in. They can practice with us. They can go to the bowl game. A lot of other stuff. All right. Well, anybody got any other good impact? I gotta go get a Christmas tree. It's my favorite time of year. I love Christmas. We have our fake Christmas trees up, but we need to go put our real Christmas trees up. I think our what was I just saw our overall defensive ranking. Oh, team D. Official team D. I believe we're top. I think we're 12. Don't quote me on that. Looking this up as we speak. I'm telling you, man, if you just want a good laugh, man, you want to vibe, come check us out on the Big Games BS tomorrow. Oh no, we're 20. We're 20th right now. We are 20th, although we'd be ranked higher in terms of offensive touchdowns. No, touchdowns, opposite touchdowns. I don't think that makes sense. We are giving up 315 yards a game. Ironically, Louisville's defense is ranked one spot higher than ours. So, Chuck, tomorrow's Big Games BS is 9:30-ish, between 9:30 and 10 a.m. I would just say just go and put your computer or your phone or whatever it is, just put it up there at 9:30. Just go ahead and get in the chat and just get ready. And then, but if you subscribe and you click the subscribe and you click the timer, it'll tell you when we're on, and it'll bing, and it will be ready to go, Chuck. That would be awesome as a recruit coming in to go to a bowl game and stay with the team. I've enjoyed all the bowl games I've been to as a fan. They're fun. I always tell people about bowl games, and once we get to our bowl game experience, like the bowl game, I'll probably talk about the bowl game experience. And the reality is, we didn't take a lot of family trips because we couldn't really afford them. And I couldn't really afford them. And then I what else? Give me a second. I hate when that shit happens. My bad. Phone. I mean, not phone, the camera. We couldn't really necessarily afford them, but the bowl game gave me a chance to get good Christmas gifts and go to places that I never really knew I could go to. I'm gonna put this out here. Insane Mob. Let me on the show one day so I can ask all the questions. I have done a call-in show before. Nobody called into my show. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to tell Miles and he'll put the number up. We're at 119 now. If we get to 100 views tomorrow, I will put in the number and we will take phone calls toward the end of our show. And as long as you ain't talking nothing out of pocket and crazy, you can call in. It will be in the community. I even put it in the actually. I'm not gonna put it in the community. I'm going to put it in the members community. So you gotta be your $3.99 member or higher, and we will put the number in the chat, and we will for people to call and be able to speak on the game. So if all in, matter of fact, you know what, Mike Hall, that's a valid point. We're gonna make that an all in. This is what if we're gonna put the number in the all in. You all ins can. I will put the number in there, and because of your donation and your service, you get to call into the show whenever you want to. So it's only 7 motherfuckers that I believe 7 right now that can call in whenever they want to call in. Just bring something good. But it's crazy though. And this is nice. I appreciate that, Rob. I'm enjoying your shows. You're very insightful. I appreciate it, man. I just really want people to enjoy the game, think about the game from a different perspective. And I want to educate you from this aspect of a guy who's been there. 90% of this bullshit that they be spewing is really bullshit. Really fucking bullshit. They don't know ball. I'm trying to tell people, like, you arguing with a motherfucker that actually knows ball. Like, I'll stack my resume against anybody's resume. Like, the only reason I don't coach is because I like my fucking kids. And them motherfuckers be away from their kids all the goddamn time. And I don't want to recruit. You can't put me on the road. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm already on the road a lot. But me on the road a lot with an expense account, staying at hotels, recruiting, man, you know what? I'd be undefeated. I'd have every fucking recruit I wanted. I can tell you that much. I recruit moms. Put it with you. We might have some more. Might have extra prospects sprinkled all around town. This will definitely be talked about tomorrow, Mike Hall. We would definitely be talking about Florida wide receivers and how angry they are. But anyways, on that note, guys, really appreciate you guys coming in and joining me. We will definitely. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on Tuesday. So tomorrow's Big Games BS, 9:30-ish. Please come join me. We get to over 100. I will drop we would drop the phone number into the community. So if we start off that bitch with 100, we coming out that bitch strong out the gate. So trust me, we will do that. I will put the number in for the all-in people no matter what. Please come and don't be. You have to forgive me. I have a low tolerance for stupidity. I love ignorance, but I don't like stupidity. Stupidity bothers me. So, like, make sure you come correct. And it doesn't have to be about FSU. We talk about life. We talk about Jaguars. We talk about Gators. We talk about whatever. Try to keep it on point. But if it's something off topic, that's cool. I love it. We'll make sure we have that would be the new addition that we'll make to that. Tuesday, for all members, at 1 p.m., we will be doing the breakdown of the Sunshine State Showdown, which is what the Florida Gator game is. So if you want to be live, just like in this situation, there will be a StreamYard link in the members community. It's the same thing. If you're a member and you go to the community, it's just you see extra shit that other people don't see. And depending on your level, you'll see more, you'll see less. So, but I need you to go and do that. We'll be at 1 p.m. I have to do it on StreamYard or they'll shut down the broadcast. So it'll be a closed broadcast, and then it will be uploaded at 6 p.m. and it will be an instant premiere. So you'll get a check. You won't be able to scan through it. You'll be able to watch it basically what will look like a live on that. Love the comments. Love the feedback on that. I really want you guys to understand football from the simplistic standpoint, because it's not a very overly complicated game. It's nowhere near as complicated as a lot of these pundits have made it seem. It's only complicated. They only complicated because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And we'll have a Wednesday show. Thursday, we'll do the Louisville breakdown. Same thing. We'll do a Friday show. I think we'll do a Friday show because we're driving to Coconut Creek. basically West Palm Beach, Pompano, and all that shit. And then again, guys, go check out. We got right now, everything is still low. VIP tickets still on sale, $100. If you go check it out, it's my pin suite. $50 still for your regular tickets. I mean, I don't know how many other ways to tell you guys. You know the tailgates are lit. They're fun. It's going to always be there. VIP is literally indoor building. There's 2 TVs. You don't even got to go to the game. I'm going to be real with you. I'll probably end up watching the game from there too because I don't really want to go in there like that unless I'm on the field. And we're still working on my sideline pass. So I'm not 1,000% sure if I'm getting it or not getting it. So, but on that note, man, love everybody, man. Appreciate you guys for chopping up with me. Go check out my brother CJ show. I know he's probably doing one today. Check out Chris with Sporadics. Go get that good Seminole news from people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about. Until next time, appreciate you guys for chopping up with me.